Right, hello, welcome back to another video. So I haven't actually got much done this week because if you've seen either on Instagram or on the post that I put on here, I've got a new CNC plasma table. So we've had a day setting it up, so I had 2 days training, then I've had a day on the tractor ploughing. So I haven't actually got any work in the workshop done this week. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to introduce it onto the channel. There it is. I just wanted to say before we start that I have bought this machine, so it's 100% mine, so it's not a paid promotion. I'm just showing you it because it will be a big part of the channel, so I might as well do an intro and show you what it can do video. And it is the biggest purchase of my life so far, so it's quite a big deal really for me. So yeah, this is the machine. So it's a Kutavar and it's 3 metre by 1500 cutting area. There's a plasma torch, a gas torch, and it also has a little engraving head that comes down. So when you're not plasma cutting, this torch is just on a magnet that pulls off, and you pull that one off, swap them over, and then you're ready for gas cutting. So it's a downdraft table. I know people will be saying, why didn't you get a water table? But there's pros and cons with them both. Water tables are pretty messy, and because it's got the gas torch on, water table was not really an option. So it's a downdraft table and it's zoned, so it's only open on the part that you're cutting. I know a lot of them are like that now, but my old one wasn't. My old one was downdraft, but the whole lot was open, so you needed a massive fan for that one. Whereas this one, yeah, it's only sucking out of the area that it's cutting in. The fan that I have set up at the moment is not quite big enough. It doesn't suck all the fumes out, but I'm short of electric when the compressor's running and the plasma's running. There isn't really much spare electric left over to be having a big fan running, so I'm trying to get away with the smallest fan that I can have and still get rid of all the fumes. So for a power source, I'm still using my TechArc OptiCut 95. It's by 95 amp, so it'll cut up to 25 mil, I think 30 mil, but I haven't got enough electric to cut that thick, so I'll use that up to 20 mil, and after 20 mil I'll use the gas torch. But it would have come, normally standard, it would have come with a hypertherm, but hypertherms are 3-phase and I don't have 3-phase electric, so that's why I'm using the TechArc still, because it's on I don't know if it's called split phase or 2-phase, but there's 2 lives that go into it and it runs on 480 volt. So yeah, I'm still using that. It's a good machine, it's only 3 years old anyway, so the consumables it uses, that's one that came from TechArc, and that's a proper hypertherm one. So the consumables are almost identical. Right, so onto the box. So the software that it uses, I think it's flash cut software, so I found a few tutorials on YouTube on how this works. So it has its own CAD program, so a lot of them don't. A lot of them just have sort of preset shapes that you can alter, but this one you can actually draw new shapes on it. So I don't really know, I'm not that good at using this yet, but you can draw shapes on it. You draw lines, or you can draw circles or squares or wiggly lines. Which one's a wiggly line? Yeah, there's all sorts you can draw on it, which I haven't sort of used it much yet. And then it also has sort of pre-saved stuff like flanges and boxes and plates and triangles and all sorts that you can alter in this menu here. So that's pretty good. But then because it is based on a PC and I can connect it to the Wi-Fi, so I have Wi-Fi in here, so it's connected to the Wi-Fi, so that means I can open up one shape, which is the software I use to design stuff. So this is that front weight carrier that I designed in the last video. So I drew this in the comfort of my house, sat in my recliner on my laptop. But yeah, I can get onto it on this. So anything that I can draw in the house, I can open on this, and then I can just load the parts from here. Like that's one of the parts. Save that as a DXF, and then I can load the DXF into here. So if I go onto this button here, click on that, there's a DFX that I've got saved. Open that up and there it is. So that is that part, which is that part. So I think that should work really well for me. Although it does have a USB plug as well, I don't really need it now because whatever I draw on Onshape I can access on here. So the other alternative that I was looking at other than this machine was a TechServe, but when I had to go on the TechServe it only had a touchscreen, it didn't have a keyboard or a mouse, which would mean I wouldn't be able to open Onshape to get my files from, and it also didn't have its own CAD software. So for one of them you would have to transfer everything, I think, on a USB stick. I'm not sure anyway, but that's the advantage of this machine, I think, is being able to do that. So then once you have your part that you want in your CAD program, you also could alter it in here as well. If you wanted to alter anything, you can do that in here, but I don't need to alter anything. So once you've got that in there, then you go onto the next page, which is the CAM page, and this is just to set your lead in and your lead outs and where you're going to start it from. So that's there, and then onto the next page, which is your CNC page, and then that's where you zero your machine out to where you want it. So I'd click on set 0, X and Y, so that was where it'd start the program from, and that's what it cut out. So also in the CAM page you set up your plate thickness in there, and then what machine you're going to use, and whether you're going to flame cut it or plasma cut it or engrave it. So that's all in your CAM bit. So I haven't actually got any real jobs that I can do with it today, but I'm just going to cut out a few little bits so you can see the engraver working. I might do a bit of flame cutting as well so you can see that working. So I'll do that. So I have a few saved jobs that I've just been fiddling about with before, so I'll do a little Snowball Engineering logo. So I've got this set up already, so all the writing is going to be engraved, and then these bits will be plasmaed out. So I've opened that up in CAM. You set your start point where you want to start, so I'll maybe alter that yet depending on, I haven't not got a sheet of metal on there yet, so we might have to alter that. But yeah, you just go into there, press on the green arrow, and then you're onto the CNC page. So I'll lift some steel down, put some 6mm on, and then have some offcuts, and then we'll do a bit. Now to move it about, you just have this little keypad down here, so your Z-axis lifts your torch up and down, and then so I move it to that end, and then I can put some steel on. That clunking you can hear is the ducts opening up for the downdraft table, like the section zones. The only thing I need to be careful of at the moment is the gas torch touches on this canopy that I've got over the top. I don't really want to take this down because it sort of protects it a bit from dust and condenses on the roof sometimes and drips down, so I might move that torch wanted moving down somewhere. It'd be handier to take on and off, and the pipes wouldn't catch and everything then. I suppose that wouldn't be a problem if you didn't have this thing over the top. Right, so I've got a bit of steel loaded on. This is ready in the CAM part of the, so CAD is where you draw it, CAM is where you set up your lead in and lead outs and what it's going to engrave and what it's going to plasma, and your CNC I'll show you. So that's all set up there. Happy with the lead-ins. What you can also do is click on this button up here, click play, and it'll do a demo of what it's going to do, which is good, because if there's anything wrong with your file, it'll show you on here. You know, if your lead-in is in the wrong place, or if there's a bit of the file that it doesn't recognise, it'll do the error on here first, so you can sort it out before it messes up your actual steel, which is pretty good. So now that's plasmaing that out. So it hasn't done anything wrong yet. Yep, so that's good. We know that's going to be alright. So we're going to the CNC page. So that's ready to go. So what we need to do now is line the torch up where we want it cutting out, and then set our 0 point. Because the plate is a bit of a triangle on that side, I'll just have to measure, make sure I'm not going to run off the plate. I could do it this side, but then I'm using up a good bit of plate, so I'll just do it in that edge bit. Right, so that should be good there. So we're just coming to here, set our 0 point. So now you can see that yellow dot is where it's going to start. And it's on the right place on the page, on the plate. So what I've found so far with the engraver is, because it's on such a high gantry and the engraver head is tucked up right up inside there, it has to come all the way down, do what it's going to do, and then it tries to go all the way back up again. So if you're doing bits that are close together, it's not too bad because it hasn't had a chance to get all the way up. So it'll only go up that far, move on, and then come down. But if you're going from there, say to there, it'll try and go all the way back up. So then you have to set your delay for the time it takes to drop all the way down. Otherwise, if you don't, it starts moving before it's touched down. But then on the bits where it's only moving a short distance, the delay is set so it's in the same place, like engraving in the same place for a couple of seconds, which won't be too bad if you're just engraving part numbers or whatever, but you'll see what I mean anyway. So Mark, the engineer, said you can clamp a little bit of, you can make a little clamp, the clamps on the side, so if you're doing a lot of engraving, it doesn't go all the way up, it only goes up sort of that far, which I might have to do. What I've forgotten to check as well is the thickness of the metal. So I'll go back into the cam, I'll click on settings here. Oh yeah, we're on 6mm. And you go into your plasma settings, set for 45 amps. All your speeds and everything are already preset, and your voltage. You go back into here, your voltage for your torch height control and everything's already set as well. The only thing that I'm lacking is the TechArc plasma doesn't really come with much cutting information. So I'm sort of running off the Hypertherm cut sheets, but some of it's not quite bang on. So I've had to alter, when Mark, the engineer, was here, he had to alter a few of the voltages to get the torch height control to work properly. But it's just going to be a bit of a learning curve until I know exactly how this machine is going to work with my plasma. Ideally, the Kutavar wanted me to have a Hypertherm, but because I don't have 3-phase mains, it would mean I'd have to run a generator. I don't want to run a generator, so that's why I'm sticking with my TechArc plasma. But like I say, there isn't much cutting information available for it, so it's a bit of a learning curve. I sort of knew what I was doing with my old plasma, but you know, it's different with this new one, so be a bit of sorting out to get that bang on. But we've sort of got it set right, and it seems to be doing a good job. So we'll press the play button, and it'll do its engraving first. It's pretty bloody loud, is the engraving head. Right, so I've just stopped it there before it does any plasma cutting, where you can see it's done its engraving. So now the plasma torch is moved over, and that's ready to cut it out. So that is a little Snowball Engineering logo. That's 100mm, is that? Like 100mm round. A little tea coaster. Pretty cool, is that, I think. So you can see what I mean about the engraver. The delay is a bit too long for stuff like this. So yeah, I need to make a clamp to stop the engraver going all the way back up into the head every time, I think. But no, I think that's pretty good. So I'm also going to cut out this little John Deere tractor as well. See what that comes out like. So this will be, how big's that? So that's 152mm wide, 125mm tall. So we'll just move the torch over a bit, and then we'll do that. So there, what I've just cut out. Pretty cool. Little tractor's pretty cool, I think. Still quite hot at the moment. So I think the engraver will do a better job once, because you see what I mean, when it's close together it doesn't go all the way back up, so the delay that you set for when it does go all the way back up means it sort of digs itself a little hole before it starts moving. But I think once I get that problem sorted, do a good job. So I'm not quite sure whether that engraver is designed to do like batch runs of engraving, or whether it's just designed for doing, you know, part numbers and, you know, the odd bit of engraving. But see how I get on. I might do a batch of these and like sell them as merch, because there's a lot of people selling like clothing and stuff, but I don't see many people making their own merch. So if I could make my own merch with this machine, let me know if you'd be interested in stuff like this, or, you know, could do anything really. So yeah, let me know in the comments whether you'd be interested. So I don't think I'm going to do any flame cutting tonight, because it's 7 o'clock and it's cold. I want my tea, and I also don't have any off-cut bits of plate that I could use, so I'll save the flame cutting till we actually need it for a, you know, proper job. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm pretty excited about this machine, and actually, you know, looking forward to getting to use it for proper jobs. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week when hopefully we've actually done some work.